Take a sound cue. He knows he can't go quick on it. Takes the time to reposition from Frozen. Brilliant round done. And now it has to be the save for Nealon. He has to worry about players all around him here. And you can see awares of that. Tucked in towards jungle. I don't think Frozen wants him to get away with his life. Still staying tucked over towards that A ramp. But this is the half one. Mal's now 8-1 scoreline. And, well, this isn't how it went against IHC.
No, and some very short-lived resilience. And as you were discussing, this reposition from Frozen makes it a nightmare for Cirque. And yeah, very well played from Frozen. It's rare when you're in that role to have two jumping straight on into your jaws. You can see Nealon actually goes looking. Wants to do some damage on the way out the door. Takes Torji down as well by virtue of the bomb and some chip damage, an upgraded weapon, and something for EG to celebrate in that round loss. But obviously, big picture, it's only one. You really need to see something consistent. Now you can see Maus have actually got more cash than they know what to do with. And we are seeing a CT timeout, so on the mics now.
You can see the cameramen having an easy time finding the staff around these teams, aren't they? That was Mad Cow there, the manager of EG. We had Marius there before. We had Sabrina as well from the Mouse camp, so you're getting a bit of everybody. Maybe the only jerseys in the arena for these two teams, I would say. But having Vorborg take this second timeout, there has to be that conversation, right? Saved or, well, you know where it's going to Cirque. Now how else do we deal with the cash? What are you dropping Cirque? Who's getting the M4? Hex, you can buy yourself, right? This is those chats that are being had right now. And you have to buy at this point. You need to start winning. You need some rounds. This is the CT side of Mirage. And a little bit of action left in the crowd. They're getting on their feet. They're having a bit of a clap. Oh, that's not the full invest. Okay. So they know the loss bonus maxed on out here. The AWP, they kind of get that as a treat, right?
Yeah.
Take a shot here, sir. Take a risk. Take a chance.
Passive for now. Nealon quite the opposite. Look at that forward position and continuing to walk in. JDC's poised and 2 bullets. Problem solved. Rifle gone. EG now in a tailspin.
This is way too easy for Mouse, isn't it?
Just came their way.
A lot of the time that seems to be the case. After these initial exchanges, the space that they're taking, and then the fights, you know the CTs have to play for that information. Wouldn't mind checking in the opening kill statistics here. It's looking fantastic for the side of Mouse.
I mean, bar that one round, I would hazard.
What are we looking at? 7 out of the 10 rounds of play so far. So that's not too shabby.
I mean, Cirque's still equipped, let's not forget, but Maus also probably not forgetting.
You're not so worried about it in this environment anyway. Like I said, that Cirque, yeah, you can have a pot shot, you can take a crack. He's sitting at ticket. You're not going to open up the round from here unless the kills come to you. And, well, maybe Frozen will oblige. A missed shot, or noted now. Hey, boys, let's get into B. And that's the only man you have to deal with. Breeze, he's going to eat the dirt. And the final 3 are on A. So at this point, if I'm Dexter, I'm thinking, okay, the AWP was at A. Let's take this away. Let's not allow them to have any residual cash going forward in this half. Dexter has top mid. JDC can start pushing market. Torji's what's in the flank. And Frozen is still over towards the Palace position at A. So where are you meant to hide if you're evil geniuses? Apparently nowhere.
Yeah, just a process of elimination for the T side, and the clock just ticking for this hunt as opposed to anything else. Cirque where he was spotted out on ticket.
I do like the hunt as well, right? And I know that the loss bonus is in play. I know that Cirque can buy another one here, but they already feel pretty miserable, EG. You're going to feel worse if they come and take everything away from you here. The repossession.
Yeah, the repo men. Exertion and, well, it was Frozen. There's another. It's just that all. Running him down, a couple more seconds. Cirque looks just about gets away.
Blink and you miss it. A disappearing act there. Okay, well that means all this extra cash Cirque has either going to be in future AWPs for him, investing well here, Cirque. But regardless, I'm starting to think it doesn't matter. A 9-1 scoreline. This really felt like not a whole lot of resistance. The only round was when EG barreled multiple members up mid with aggression. When you had Automatic getting flashed out and taking that fight, he got dealt with quite easily. And now I feel like Dexter can call anything that he would like. Again, this aggressive play towards A ramp. They would like again this aggressive play towards A. It means more bodies have to worry about A. Mid's more of an open avenue, but it's not even the answer here. It looks like it will be a B finish. So Dexter flirting with A, but just to finish with B.
Yeah, one difference is that Cirque early dispatch towards B. So he will be here and ahead of that smoke in order to perhaps contribute. Takes the heels off of JDC. Finished now by Breeze. The 1-2 punch. On the fresh mag, and another frag. Nealon puts the bomb on the floor of B. This is better. EG, 2 frags to the good, not a single casualty back. Cirque wants to maintain his ground, and just a lick of the flame forces his position. Seems like Dexter wants to pull the plug on this, but the bomb is committed. You have to find a way in.
Again, they could just wait, though, and hope that the overpeaks come in, because Evil Geniuses are exploring towards mid right now. Automatic dropping down has sealed their fate. They will have to fight towards B, but they're just sitting and waiting for those jewels.
Understandably so. Heavy disadvantage, a two-man advantage for the Evil Geniuses. Feels almost compulsory that they convert here. Molly will force Nealon wide. Extinguish, swung. Distracting bullets. Nealon still posted into his crosshair once again. It's all Nealon. 3 frags. Only Frozen standing. And there's the cherry on top. EG, they have an answer for that B commit.
Well, apparently it's Nealon is the man needed to get them these rounds here. He's towards the top of the scoreboard for the squad and has an impact in both of the rounds that they've been able to post so far. I think that's 2-3 pieces from him. So Nealon definitely finding a bit of traction here. Obviously, he's the import and into the in-game leader role. I know that's turned a lot of heads. It's definitely made a lot of people have some conversations, Kassan being one of those. And I'm curious how Paul Mahone's going to find the death segment if Cirque doesn't find too many more kills here. 1 for 7 right now. Yanko's going to be licking his chops in the green room.
I mean, I think, you know, it's going to be very beneficial for Mahone to have a desk with Yanko, you know.
Yeah, the big drop.
Yeah, it's a valuable lesson to learn. But the game is not done. Perhaps Cirque isn't either. Different look this time out of Mouse. Torji, Frozen.
Sorry, what?
Yeah, both connecting. And it's Cirque that's unfortunately forced to watch.
Just walking into fights, this is ridiculous.
Hexed under a lot of scrutiny now. He's known, forced to extinguish. If he goes up the ladder, he's a dead man. Supported now by a very limited cast of EG. Both on the site, and if it's Mouse, you know what's up next. They're probably expecting, oh, they're not expecting exertion. A nice bit of info for Dexter, and it should be curtains.
The bomb's going to go B.
Yeah, of course, but look at this. Oh, he's going to let Nealon have a little investigation, and the frags come one, but not done. Nealon.
This is interesting now. At least it's something that Nealon can work with. It's a 1-on-2 situation. The bomb will go down now, so 40 seconds thrust onto the clock. It's penny dropping for him now.
Much further away from B.
No, it is a long rotation back, but this is the type of round at a 9-2 scoreline you should give a crack.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to see it. Perhaps going to opt for that short strafe instead to the market. He has to be quite proactive and loud about this. He hasn't really got the time for complete subtlety. Bench occupied. Couple of stray bullets. Needs to get that smoke deployed. And yeah, JDC will convert. Mao's up to 10. And that's T-side rounds as well. So Evil Genius is certainly going to be scratching their heads on the side swap if they don't start posting just the last few. A handful will do.
It's just comfy now, isn't it? Like, with this type of a scoreline right here, and I know it can crumble, I know it's a best of one, but we're not seeing any fight from EG. If this was closer rounds, I could start to make you a bit of an argument. I could say, yeah, sure, there's an opportunity, there's a chance, but realistically, it hasn't been the case. I would say more of their rounds that have been close, not the ones they've converted, have been with those lighter investments. In the full gun rounds, unless Nealon's able to get them a couple of 3 pieces, it's not looking good.
Torji's got his eye already pressed to the scope, so no sound cue to be given as he might want to get a little more aggressive than normal. Speaking of aggressive, you can see Cirque posted up, courtesy of Automatics hold in mid. 3 CTs dispatched for an aggressive mid setup. Frozen, ooh, just trigger finger itching to take down that jumping CT.
It's likely a retake setup with this, and yeah, now the Hex gets away, definitely. So this mid setup, Breeze, Cirque, Automatic have not moved. They are not buying this. And that's a good call. It isn't the A play. It is over towards B. Dexter's in, Frozen in, Torji in. Bomb's not here. 1 for 1. Good trade. Quick from Torji back, and they're walking into the side. But here's Nealon again. The bomb's being dropped. The cavalry needs to be getting over here quick, and he drops them.
More.
It's all Nealon.
The impact he is having, I mean, in terms of EG's conversions, it's all Nealon. Doesn't over-rotate, doesn't overcook it.
Off, and Searson's got a face full of lead. Nice double entry here from Synopsy. That's going to open the door for Bad News Eagles. So on an individual level, he's done his job. Singular man advantage now at this point, and if Scenari doubles back towards Cat, look at this. Big chance for a 2K from him as well. They're still concerned about that pit player, but at least they know where the pieces are at, and they're going to fixate onto Crimbo. We've got a 1v1. The newcomer in Sin popped by GXX.
Damn, and that's that explosivity that I was talking about with B&E. A beautiful few different scenarios where they had to keep changing what they were going.
His head, still 3. EG would love to replicate that into the final 2 of our first half ones as he's addressed. And this is that 1-0 game, so one of these two teams, Mao's clear front runners, to be going into the second day of the major with that 2-0.
I believe that's a no-scope from that distance. Yeah, that's pretty ridiculous. So Torji showing us how it's done. A timeout call, and this will be from Mouse, right? A conversation. Hey boys, 12-3 sounds a whole lot better than 10-5. So let's see if we can get ourselves across that magical line. I mentioned the guns to be dropped. That has been the case. There's AKs in the hands of 3 players for Mouse, and poor Dexter, the in-game leader, taking the sacrifice onto the Galil. The buy is looking beautiful on the other side as well, but no AWP available for Cirque here. What's the change going to be from Mouse here, right? This is where you could just pull out an execute. You can still play tricky if you'd like to continue with these defaults. The mid plays have been pretty good once Exertion gets that control.
Yeah, let's find out. Exertion ready and waiting to extinguish Cirque's incendiary. Slight gap on the walk-up short, so very much an established hold for mid. Just going through his protocols, wants to keep that presence. Oh, and I say that's more than a protocol. He's walking up on this. Slight misthrow. A re-smoke connector. Apparent presence from Automatic. I mean, looks like it won't be Exertion to take that first contact, or at least you'd hope not. You can see Frozen edging in. Hex spotted out again on this jump. He's doing it well. He's doing it safe, but need frags from him as well. Exertion hoping enough and sufficient distraction. It's nailed it again with the impact. A multi-kill spray down, immediately leveled out into an equilibrium. It's Breeze. Bites back. Exertion very low. Breeze the same. Hex still a nuisance on this CT. And the bomb is on Frozen's back, but he's the healthy one. May want to be the bodyguard.
The longer they take here, they're waiting for the fight to come their way, but the longer they take, the Utah's going to fade. Breeze is getting closer now on this rotation through the backlines. And standing a bit of a sore thumb is Exertion now. On top of the box, that's perfect plucking for Breeze. Yeah,
it should be a matter of seconds here. Breeze likely not going to have his crosshair. Oh, bang on the money. And, oh, just in time. The money will do it, though. Bomb cancelled, repositioned, and cooked to a crisp. Only Frozen. 15 seconds. Breeze's position is problematic. You can't get in, and so he thinks better of it. We'll look to maintain the AK-47. No extra cash for him, and cash perhaps becoming a bit more of a conversation for our final round.
Yeah, definitely so. Here, you look at the next round of play, we're going to be having that 1900 loss bonus. So there's an opportunity for one more AK purchase and less drop. So this round, maybe you have 2 AKs for Mouse here to try and get this 11-4 scoreline. It has been a great half, but they might end up losing 4 of the final 5 rounds here.
Yeah.
So that could help.
We got 3 bodies stacked up here. Crimbo, he's going to get himself 2.5 on the kill feed. And in an instant, that bomb just goes reeling back towards middle. Keto's going to fire long range, deals with the close player first, and finishes off both.
Getting found out a little bit more so, but Nealon seems to have his finger on the pulse. Right place, right time seems to be exactly on the agenda for Nealon today. And again, well, he's over towards B. JDC ahead of this, using the smoke to try and find a gap, and has done. Now, the silent drop is not plausible there. He will make a sound cue, but nobody's heard this. Look at all the room that JDC has right now. Walking into the B bomb site, Mac 10 in hand. Nobody knows he's home. Now they do.
Oh, and he's been lost Sark. The distraction, the punishment. Torji great on the AK there. 2 into the B site. Mouse surely licking their chops. It's Nealon again, long range, good frag. JDC equips himself with Cirque's AWP and doing damage as Nealon goes down as well. Just as there was a little bit of light in the round for EG, it's JDC with 3. Could be 4. Is he expecting this apps? It's Automatic. He's been a regular return to the apartment. It's a question of timing. JDC, tip of the head, soon to be exposed, and well, that's 4. A quad kill out of the German, and it's an 11-4 half. Mal's happy with that. Psychro definitely happy with that. Close to the 2-0.
M4 last. Can be anywhere, okay?
Can you just chillax, John?
Yeah,
Chillax.
I'm just holding myself down.
He can't be behind me. I'm gonna play on the back.
Just do that.
I'm picking city slowly. I'm gonna play on the back. Ramp.
You could be jungle holding cross.
Nice! Open, sorry, open!
Oh. Getting it?
Insane!
Hey Future Pros, we have another execute for you and your friends to learn. This execute will help when you are taking the B site on Mirage. For this setup, you will need at least 3 Future Pros and 3 smokes and optionally a bunch of flashes. Let's break this down. Future Pro number 1, you'll be throwing one of the arch smokes. To do this, line yourself up with this corner of the cracked stone floor. Aim at the left side of this dark squarish smudge on the wall, then simply jump throw the smoke. Since you threw this from close to mid, I would recommend wrapping around cat to get to B or maybe holding off rotations in mid. Future Pro number 2, you will throw the other arch smoke. To do this, line up with the middle part of this window. Aim to the sky and position your crosshair so it is in the middle of the antenna and the overhang. Then throw the smoke normally. Future Pro number 3, you will be smoking off the window leading into the B site. To throw the smoke, get yourself into this corner. Aim at the corner of this large tower, then jump throw the smoke. Nice and easy. With all 3 of these smokes thrown, taking the B site should be much easier than it would be without them. To make this even easier on your team, get your players to lob as many flashes as possible over the top of B. And as always, good luck.
With Hex, honestly, I didn't know of him before he joined the team. That was something that our, I guess, GM, or that's something that Valens kind of decided, and he brought him onto the table, and I went with it because I trust Valens a lot. So yeah, he happened to be correct on this one, and I think that Hex brings a lot of energy outside of the server. I think that's like definitely his best like redeemable quality, is that he just brings a lot of energy. He always improves the environment and the atmosphere, and it doesn't matter if he's having a bad game, he's still gonna do it. And then in terms of in-game, I think that similar to Nealon, he's still very young and somewhat inexperienced, and he's just looking to learn and looking to absorb any knowledge that he can. So I think in that way it really helps him, and I think that, you know, he's gonna become a good player.
Evil Geniuses boasting 4 rounds going into the T side. It is best of 1. The winner going up into that 2-0 column for tomorrow. Mao's hottest prospects for it. Evil Geniuses giving us something to talk about, Chad, into our second half. It wasn't looking great, but a string of rounds. It's 3 in the last 5. Something to dig our teeth into. A pistol goes a long way here too.
Yeah, the classic cliche. They desperately need this here, but on this T side, it is going to be difficult. They've split the forces here, and Exertion very aggressive. Wanting to pick up where he left off, and Automatic will sit him down quite swiftly. Frozen taking a duel over towards B, so information, they've decided to take fights in both apps. Apparently they're looking for somewhere to live.
JDC into the apps as well. Didn't pay 44 billion for it, but wants it all the same and gets away unscathed.
Okay, so slight information, but really not a lot gained here. More lost as Frozen. The back line peppers away with the USP, but goes down. We never love to see that. That's what you want from EG, though. We want a competitive game, and they need to get this. Just 2 more to find. Might even be the clean sweep.
Yeah, and Nealon might not have to do anything in order to find a round.
That'd be nice.
That's exciting for him.
A luxury the in-game leader didn't know he had.
JDC quaking in his boots, 17 points of health. You could kill him with a paperclip, and it will be a Glock from Nealon, who did pull up his socks and post his 18th. Really is. I mean, in comparison to his opponent as well, I think he is, yeah, top of the server scoreboard, Chad. That is really impressive, considering.
Very much so. He's having a great game here, Nealon, so this is fantastic work from him. The import get done, and just as we sing his praises, a little bit of a flub right there, but maybe this is a bit of time to give everybody a history lesson. Maybe you haven't been watching Counter-Strike for all the years, but we do have a major winner in the server. And that is going to be Automatic right now. We know that he went to Valorant and then he came back to us, but it's good to get him back in the CSGO colours. And obviously, on the other side of things, well, you've got the inexperience of Mouse. 3 players. This is their first major appearance ever for the likes of Exertion, JDC, and Torji. And right now, they're not playing like that's the case. They seem pretty comfy here. Hasn't been too many struggles. but I was covering them off during the RMRs, and when they got to the 2-2 matchup, look, they didn't handle the pressure very well.
Okay.
So, look, if this game starts to get closer and closer, then we can bring that conversation to the forefront, and that will be a consistent pressure point for Mouse that we have to keep tabs on, is how do they deal with these tighter matches. But Torji wants to take the fight.
Oh, he's in trouble. No, he's not. JDC bails him out immediately. Quick dig to the dome, breeze down. 4 rifles in play for the remaining Evil Geniuses. Exertion's very active in this. He's got a good shot if he does go for the swing. No slouch on the dig. Nealon, top fragger in the server. Walking on in contact, and ooh, a bit of a mess. Cost him a heavy blood price, but the frags come their way. Dexter demanded to hit some digs. It's shy of the mark. Still a 3-on-3 though. Torji posted on the scout. Burning lower and lower. Dexter brought to 5. Tries to disrupt, but quick one out of Timothy.
Saved by the bell in some ways there. This round's still on low HP on 2. JDC has this picked up to Galil. Do they want to save? Take their toys home, pack it up, try again tomorrow? Or do they want to give this one a bit of a look in here? Now the bomb's down, 40 seconds thrust onto the clock. I think save is probably the save for the 2 options. JDC can drop that Deagle in the next. They could have 3 upgraded weapons round number 18. But there was some moments that got a little bit dicey, and it all came down to that timing window. And when Exertion moved away,
and an 8-2 score for Big.
Yeah, I mean, for a while it was hard to kind of talk about Keto because it kind of felt like he was the scapegoat of the team. He would be the guy to get replaced if they bring someone new in. And recently, you know, he's
conceding that opening kill, able to right the ship here, and yeah, it's a good round all things considered. So 11-6 now, 5-round game. There is a chance they can bring this back, right? It wasn't an impressive first half. There wasn't anything to get excited about other than Nealon, and the scoreboard reflects that.
Yeah, I mean, certainly would love to see a couple of those other names in the server start to wake up. We haven't heard or said Cirque or Hex name all too much. 7 frag combined from those 2 geniuses.
Well, Hex is another one right here at his first major. A name that I don't think was on anybody's radar at the start of the year as far as international Counter-Strike goes. It's good to see him. He looks like he has a bit of an attitude about him. Right? I can see him trying to fire up the boys. I don't know what he's saying. I'm not great at reading lips, but I can imagine there's a few choice words in there.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably bringing a little bit of that puggy flair. Get the boys juiced and ready to rock and or roll. Evil Geniuses taking a leaf out of the Mouse's book, just spreading out. Leaning B, bomb on the back of Cirque. Torji, though, equipped with his scope rifle. Just the scout on him.
Well, that's the question, right? We have to identify where these saved weapons are, and once we do, we can get a bit of a hurry on. So steps out, and okay, scout confirmed. We know it's towards B. Do we want to continue?
Do you pick up the pace? Nades are being released. Great flash. Frozen playing for the spoiler, and they might be activated. Will they clear him? Will they clear him? They certainly might now. Frozen got a lot on his plate. Takes a shot, loses out, and that's another round for EG. Keeping it Wolf 5 alive would be nice as well. Hext adds another to his tally. And there you have it. 2 to the tally. Puts himself up to 7. EG the same. Going to be feeling good about that one.
Okay, well, similar scenes in the first half, but sure on the other foot here. Can EG do what Mouse did going into this first gun round? Convert relatively cleanly here. The AWP for Torji in play. The M4 is out for the rest. A defuse kit or 2 for good measure here. So they have everything they need to get back on the board here, Mouse. As this gets closer and closer, I think that worry for some of these more inexperienced players, which is pretty much across the board, will start to creep in. Oh, that's a big fight. Exertion here, stepping up in a big way. Locks down 2 on the mid control. This is the kid I'm telling you about. He steps up when the team needs him and has put EG on that silver platter now.
Yeah, I mean, you discussed his absence of fear. It's very apparent. He will just take the duel. And succeed at it as well. Question of whether or not he can continue to play like that and with that same pizzazz once you get handed an uncomfortable loss. Still though, you know, first major and good performance from him so far.
Outsiders was, at least on paper, a much tougher opponent than this of EG, right? So we'll have to see how we grow into this one. The bomb coming back over towards A here with
see-
automatic.
We'll see if Neelan takes contact first. I don't think he's showing any signs of stopping, and not stopping, hitting head.
That'll change the round. They're rotating quite quickly here. Frozen towards B, Dexter move, Torji as well. If they continue over towards this side, okay, never mind. Cool your jets.
Yeah, Dexter's going to be back in time.
Yeah, cool your jets indeed. That is a missed opportunity.
Oh, that is the opposite of a missed opportunity, Chad. That's quite an opportunity laid out by Automatic. Torji takes down Hex still. That's not the name he's looking for. They know Automatic has slipped into the site.
Is he going to get a B?
Considering it. He's only got 25. He'd have to get a wiggle on.
But there is time for this, and there's a massive gap. Why would you expect this? Is Torji really going to consider this? He's over towards spawn right now. He's not open to this position just yet.
Oh,
He's
no.
considering it. Torji, the mind on him, but a massive shot from Automatic.
That was against an AWP. He just takes the duel, wins it out one-on-one. Just enough time to get that bomb down. Can he reposition? Frozen has made his presence clear. Trajectory of the incendiary. Just a duel. Automatic. Looking for 4. And he pulls EG into an 8th. The only major champion in the server. Showing his pedigree.
What a round that was. How has he pulled that one off? That one is going to leave a mark.
And it's got under their skin.
Oh, it should do. How do you lose that round? How does he get them into this?
This is how it started, man. Double. Automatic hits
Huge
that
shot.
Scorcher. And this one as well. This is all
What
a
a
beautiful sequence of events from Automatic. And he reads the play. Frozen just steps into his scope, and I can see that's bothered him.
It should never have happened like that, right? The round should never have unfolded in that fashion. And well, against the ropes right now, how does that shot look from Torji's POV?
Yeah, I'd love to see it. Just a complete Ferrari peek into the AWP. He even considered it like at that moment. So, well, Neelan's got some company, it seems, in this battle to remain undefeated in day one of the Rio de Janeiro Major.
Well, here he is again, opening up the account this time round.
That hurts. Exertion, big on the D. Low and even lower. 6 feet dug by Hex. JDC's Deeg still able to fill the feed. It's still set for an EG conversion. This gap starting to get concerningly close for the Mouse boys. Another racked up from that AK Cirque Farms. Another $300, make it 6. As he adds a couple to his own personal tally. But yeah, yet to see a CT round out of Mouse. Dexter likely going to be wanting to call a little bit of a change up in your setup.
Call a timeout. Just have a bit of a chill, a bit of a chat. We're talking about change up in setup. Well, you have exactly that coming your way, Alex. Double AWPs. Now JDC showed us what he can do on that towards the tail end of that first half of play. Torji rocking the other. It's JDC and Exertion who have been finding a lot of impact here, at least in the kill department. But this is a 2-round game now. This is very, very close to the change for EG as well. Exertion, the double nade, the double dunk.
Yeah, oh, and there's more. The entire EG team missing on the milk cartons in the first 10 seconds as Frozen. The round's over. That's a bit of a record breaker. 1 minute 37 it reads, and giggles for Mouse.
Okay, that's one way to get your first round on the board.
But
Okay.
back-to-back doubles from Exertion.
Yeah.
This time converted.
With the nade, that's something special, isn't it? Nade comes through and he
Right, where's
starts
the damage?
spamming here. He starts spamming it, so it's him completely. It's him completely right there. What a wombo combo that was, and everybody doing exactly what they needed to do. Yeah, that should put a smile on the face. One more of those and EG will be broken.
Didn't even have to see the AWPs. Torji fired off a shot, connected one of them, but JDC perhaps remains an unknown entity.
But Torji has all the mid control right now, right? They forced the gap in the window smoke, so he can see that nobody's top mid. That means A or B should be on high alert here, and well, we know it's going to be this A finish. Under the balcony is going to be Exertion. Dexter over towards Ticket, and here they come.
That Molly's got Exertion's name written all over it. Torji. Oh, nice. Immediate extinguish, and so the gap there. Automatic does meet that AWP. Exertion active. And it's Hex that finds him. Big for EG. Need another. Still bodies on the side. Not anymore. Dexter clotheslined by the AK of Breeze. Flashes forcing them into a retake setup. Frozen does want to remain a threat. Jiggling out on CT spawn. Torji still has that cross. Oh, and swung on. A rare miss from Torji on the AWP.
Big miss. And now it might have to be the save. JDC will grab them something back. Frozen starting to relinquish control of CT spawn as he slinks back towards JDC over towards that B bomb site. But EG, they'll get it done. They'll get it done. A nice little execute towards that A site, even losing that opening frag. You can see what happened in that situation. The flash came forward. Exertion stepped out. He didn't see anything towards ramp, tried to reposition, and Hex bops him. And that was the way in towards the side there. The kill, I think it was Breeze onto Dexter. That was the difference maker. If Dexter gets the kill, okay, then maybe we'll get into a trade game. But the fact that he gets nothing, not good enough. And double digits secured now for EG. The rifle's retained, sure. Lost bonus, great for drops. So Mouse will be able to invest again, doing this one by the book, not just throwing around the way for no good reason.
Yeah, but I mean, it seems like Neelan has been online from the start, clearly, but he's been online long enough that the rest of the team can now start to join him. We have got a real competitive scoreline here, 10-12. This is the shot you were talking about, Breeze. That frag, boy, it was a snappy one. And a miss from Torji that he will likely not be happy with himself.
Well, the series I'm referencing from the RMR was during the Group B of the European side of things. It was the final matchup. It was a 2-2 game in the Swiss. It was Mouse versus Sungar. And a lot of people are saying, who? Exactly. Sungar were able to bounce back after an overtime loss on their map pick of Inferno. Went to Vertigo, blew Mouse out of the water, and then had a close affair on Ancient. And Torji, throughout that series, he went -15. Right? He was the worst player in the server. And this is what we're talking about in terms of Mouse being inexperienced in these type of situations. Your AWPer in a game like this, especially, we discussed it at the start of this matchup. EG, you'd be licking your chops if you Mouse to go up against a team like this, especially if you had the pick of the litter in this category. Yeah, sure, we'll take them on. So here, Mouse, maybe an opportunity starting to slip here. Still a 2-round game, so no harm, no foul just yet.
Yeah, this looks like it's got some pace in it, at least initially on their excursions. Cirque goes posting up on B. Nothing to report. It's JDC on the other side of things. No AWP this time, just the one.
They have mid-control at least.
He should have info on this jiggle, but that's enough to force the smoke out. Torji's not eloping. He actually wants to, slow-mo his way back into safety just in time as Hex mantles the bench. Bomb scooped up, Cirque back to spawn.
Just looking at this setup here, Dexter is committed, ready. Will not be able to leave Sandwich here without some util to help him get out. The gap at the moment, potentially connector. And again, it is looking likely to be A. So Hexton, Neelan in combination towards mid are still flushing out some of this map control. Vent room, if you have that secured here, you have a key piece of real estate.
Exertion's just living in that smoke. And JDC has taken down the #1 fragger. Neelan down with no damage. 500 health for Mouse. And Exertion arriving just in time to stop Hex's progress. Dexter still, that sandwich position pays off, and it's all Mouse. Cirque the only exception, and it would have to be exceptional with 20 HP, 4 to find, 20 seconds. This is done. As Mouse look to put their second CT round on the board.
But when they come, they seem to come a bit easy.
Yeah.
So that one there, just one casualty. Dexter committed to that position, one and done. Cirque can contribute that kill, sure. And we'll be able to save. They're not coming looking, they're not coming knocking. And now, well, sure, they've had this success, but that's the problem when you don't get yourself enough rounds on that CT half, is you don't have a lot of room for error. And the fact that you've been winning by this margin, well, the cash is not flush, right? They're not sitting pretty in terms of residual, and the loss bonus is bottom of the barrel, and that spells a bit of disaster in that regard. So they will be able to buy again into play. Yeah, a couple of misfits utility there. Like that Molotov wasn't deep enough. It wasn't going to flush the jungle player out. Didn't have to move. The flash flustered as well. So Cirque is having a rough go of things here. It's hard, right? The conversation about AWPers on both sides here. It's just fortunate for Torji that he's got some riflers that are really popping off.
And I mean, this is my first taste, at least in the casting chair, of new look EG. And it is certainly more hopeful than what showed up in Dusseldorf and left Dusseldorf the next day.
Yeah, less face palms.
Less face palms and
huffing
oopsies.
and puffing. And yeah, this is like a team.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you know, a team out of major.
So there's some excitement to be had right here, and maybe more. A timeout was called. That's the third from EG, and they forced in everything they've got. Throwing the kitchen sink at them here to try and hold on to this best of one. Galil's, AKs, Tech-9, and that AWP. But Cirque, right, he saved it. We need to see something.
Oh, is that a little gap? Yeah, a slight slither, nothing more to work with. Torji investigates it and thinks better of it. Couple of compromises, full all-in out of the EGT side.
I think they're trying to level the playing field, allow the protocol utility amounts to be used here, the early incendiaries, the early block smokes here to push them around the map. And once that happens, then it's going to be more about the Angels, right? So you haven't lost any key territory. You made sure that you knew you had most of the mid control with that little boost we just saw over towards top mid. Automatic knows that nobody's pushed B. Hext is somewhat aware that hopefully no one has gone through the B apps here behind him. And they are gearing up now for what should be an A finish. So Dexter, the only man on the site, but we'll have contributions from Exertion. Maybe just Exertion. I was going to say Torji. I'm not sure where he's going to end up. Automatic's just walked out. They're on the site, Alex.
He's cleared ramp. Dexter screaming. He needs Exertion's help now. He's just hiding, waiting to strike in unison with the teammates. Ooh, on the jiggle, finds nothing but bullets through the box. He's down. Cirque hits the wall bang. And problems now for Mao's EG. Burrowing into the site, bomb to be planted, Hext on the flank has let it go, and a problem now as all 4 frags from Mao's in quick succession, and that advantage just disappears. It evaporates, and now you said no face palms, perhaps a little bit of face to palm action for EG. It started brilliantly, and now staring at an opponent's 14th round on the board, and you got 2K in the coffers.
Yeah, that's a bit of a rough one there. Just to talk a bit more about the Dexter situation, I think he was expecting a few more sound cues, at least of utility here, but this is Exertion again. It's getting into a pressure game, it's getting a little bit close, and he steps up with a massive round, 4 kills to his name, 26 in total. So he continues to step up when called upon, and now it looks like just a Tech-9 play towards A. Some smoke, some flashes, and away we go.
Completely unbothered. A performance like this, yeah, he's going to be right up at the highest ranking at the end of day 1 for the individuals. Dexter deals with Cirque, more advancing, a full commitment early from EG. And no problems here for Maus. One after another, the bodies drop, 28 and counting, another multi-kill for Exertion. Can't take it on his own, needs JDC's help to make 15 a reality, but there it is. Maus. 5 opportunities to find 1 round.
Let's see if Exertion can find himself that dirty 30. We've had a couple of those today, so some beast mode performances, and EG without any money, right? You guys get the drill. Last timeout will be called. I respect that. You may as well use them if you have them. Just to talk through what option is available here. You just tried an A execute. Hey, maybe we try a B execute in similar vein with the Tech-9s with all that good gear. And it gives an opportunity for Cyclone, the coach of Maus. If you don't know his lineage, his history, he was actually coaching the academy team, Maus NXT. I'm sure you've heard it referenced a lot here. And he's been able to bring the majority of that team with him over the course of this year,
yeah.
1 by 1.
Yeah, I'm sure Frozen's quaking in his boots.
No, I think Frozen is the one who's definitely safe out of the mix right here. It's maybe Dexter. Maybe Shui gets a bit of a call up.
Well, yeah.
See how things go with Gamer Legion. They're looking hot to trot as well. But with the cam shots we've had around the arena, while this match is out, I think there's anticipation to see Imperial play up next.
Oh, I'm sure they'll find their voices and that drum will start to beat, as will the hearts of the crowd here. And Torji looking to get it done. Breeze down early, automatic on the hunt. Exertion will bail himself out. The smoke does bloom. The molly considered and pace into the B site. JDC puts the bomb carrier down. Commitment out of Nealon. Needs it on the Tech-9. Cannot find it. And no, not enough bullets. It's over. 16. It's found quickly. And the crowd happy with that. The jerseys are working, and so is Maus. A first on a major stage for some of them. And quite a fantastic first day in the office.
Yeah, great stuff. 2-0. Well, best of 3, and they're in the legend stage here. So smiles on the faces, and well, a round of applause. The crowd appreciate the performances put on here today. Great stuff from Maus. EG, they made it look close, but this is a pretty one-sided affair.
Him. Gonna get the defuse off, planted for Cat. Crimbo going into CT just to look for him, and ends up the last one alive and useless from that position because of the post plant. So sneaky move from Crimbo in the first place to get into that corner, but Rigon saves it totally.
Game on.
Yeah, this helps.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Makes things interesting. I feel like Bad News Eagles, you know, sometimes if we go back to Antwerp, right, their shortcomings were on their T sides. And even when they had substantial leads, it was the offense that kind of betrayed them. We're now witnessing them on the defense, so
let's
see.
Yeah, but Big don't have a problem playing their offense.
Sure.
They don't have a problem, especially on Dust 2, and this is a big reason why they pick it. I mean, the CT side is great, but they're even strength, and they didn't just double layer their smokes, right? No, okay, they look good. Yeah, the thing is for being any team, they know long control gets taken. Slowly the T's cross. Oh wow, they're actually not ready for this at all. They're really late to throwing their counter utility, and the quiet cross early seems to be working out quite well. Juan Flatro, lots of pressure on him. CT's coming up though.
Dragon wants to thrive in all this chaos, and Scenari comes out from the side of the smoke. They're going to hold on to the long control. Juan Flatro comes through with the kill. GXX, the no-scope scout shot. Searson had a chance, but Synopsy's going to smother the car. We've got 3 strong standing from Bad News Eagles.
They got a little confused. They didn't molly elbow, and they started to push out as well towards the smoke, and they just couldn't figure out where anybody else was. But that's not a moment where you normally see Big get rattled. They had a lot of map control. But the CTs, they were coming in fast, man. They were coming in through CT on that early rotation, and they wanted to help Juan Flatro, who put himself in a really useful but interesting spot. Actually, he might have smoked the molly, and then they tried to approach on the side to kill anyone else. That maybe makes a bit more sense.
Shout out GXX for the back-to-back jumping scout no-scopes. The tag and the
That is so
bag.
hard to do. Only accurate at the apex.
Yeah, hit them both. GXX now. Ooh!
Against the beam, aim just to the right of the bottom of this line. Running jump to the flash to blind anyone who could have a good spawn. Then toss your second flash into the ramp smoke. Future Pro number 4, you will actually get to utilize this nifty ramp smoke, but first bank a molly off this wall which will land behind the ramp smoke. Also toss a HE into mid if you want. Now you get to sit behind the smoke and look for some fights. Listen out for some burn damage, as a CT will think their best option might be to play behind the smoke. From the CT perspective, you can see it'll be very difficult to spot a T over the smoke. So good luck.
CT. CT with AK. And
Okay.
one shot.
Dead.
CT last.
I have CT.
Yes, AK. One dick.
One dick. Yeah. Throw me out with a.
CT.
Nice.
Down, Benny.
Nice. Take confidence, baby.
Nice. Good hold, bro.
Nice hole. Let's
Have AK for confidence.
You were looking for a cohesive EG. That was certainly not it. But of course, they did put up a little bit of fight. Finally got to double digits, ultimately all in vain. As Mahone will run you through by himself in a monologue segment known as Mahone's Time.
Honestly, I have to say that Mouse actually played a really good game. I really thought that on their T side, they had a lot of good pace changes, good variation. And just some fans just going absolutely crazy behind us.
There was a car in here. Sorry.
But anyway, to continue what I was saying, that they had a lot of good pace changes, a lot of good variation, and that just makes it tough for EG to essentially know when to use their utility. And that's the toughest thing about playing CT side, is that when you don't really know when to counter, that's when the other team basically have you on the ropes.
They did have all of that, Trace, but they also had exertion.
True.
This guy is a stud. He's going to be a star for a long time, and I think you can just feel it in the way he plays. Obviously, he understands the game on a very high level, but I just love so many things, like his patience.
He tags Synopsy, he's gonna get rushed, this is crucial, and Searson holds on.
Jesus. Okay, the 3 kills at the end, kind of. That's a little silver lining here for Big. That was a rough round with the amount of time it took. They finally got that idea going. You could see they're constantly searching for that third A player, trying to figure out how to take advantage of him in CT, rotating back and forth, either saying, get over to B and we'll kill you then, or we'll find you while you're there. And they did do a good job of both. Watching the B window while attacking CT spawn, pressuring long at the same time, it just all took too much time.
Leaves Big in an awkward place here.
Oh, they would really hate this buy, but now a gun has actually been left inside of the mid doors.
Keto got it. Juan Flatro's position known.
Oh, that aggressive maneuver could be very costly.
Scenario's real close.
Maybe not.
That's the gun back down in the dirt. A spare incendiary to be picked up right there for Scenari, so he'll grab it in a moment. Synopsy saw bodies. They're trying to get right through the smoke. What a spot! Just tucks along the box, and gets 2 kills off Scenari's flashbang. Now Searson's on 22 health, and he's already gotten through the smoke, so he clips Synopsy, and all of a sudden it's tabs into the clutch, but GXX back plat, he's got it.
Okay.
2 op shots connect inside the site, and Bad News Eagles within spitting distance of Big Clan.
That was a lovely maneuver. Now, with the speed that they were coming at, he thought, all right, if I get out on the side of this box, they're going to scale on the right side and just try to rush me down. They're not going to jump up and fight over this one way after I got spotted. So that was pretty smart thinking from him, and he really took advantage of that really underplayed position that you almost never see someone in. And it's all because of that T-smoke that comes out as lurk smoke that helps him do it. So now it's a 2-round game. Bad News Eagles in their comfort zone. Big looking for kind of any success now. What was it, 11-4 half or was it 10-5? It was 11-4, right?
11-4, sir.
Yeah, 11-4. Nothing yet here for Big. They've got long control successfully a couple of times. But the thing is that it's a Greek gift, right, from BNE. They're happy to give them long control. They are comfortable fighting from the site, and they know that Big are going to try to go for that.
Yeah. Oh, look at this one. Flotro straight to the top of mid. Keto, he's got the trade. Look like Searson gets caught off. Tabson frags back with the Tech 9. So, I mean, minute 40 mark, and we're already down to the 3 versus 3. Big can still continue on their journey towards long. It's going to be a sole defender in GXX and his op. But the aggression from Bad News Eagles already through tunnels. But Keto seems to have wind of this. Aware of the possibility, they're starting to crawl back, and Synopsy getting into the corner just in time. He wins the duel, sees the bomb. Up next is Tabson, and 2 for 1 from Synopsy. That is critical. Inside the deep T-spawn, Crimbo caught off, because why the hell is Scenari also pushing?
Yeah, there's just more of them. They just keep on coming, and that's the pressure they need to keep applying, man. And that's just staying true to their game, and that's what Juan Flotro was talking about. He's not worried about how good the other team is, what they like to do. And he said, I respect them and everything like that, but at the end of the day, that's just not their top of the priority list for them. Right. And that's why they win big.
Right.
That's why they can do it.
I think this is, we just had that match with Outsiders where, like, well, if things start going round for round, back and forth, we're going to finish 25 to 30 round games. I think Bad News Eagles, their identity is just streaks, right? You actually want them to lose the lead in the first half so that they can kind of make a comeback. And if you give them that start towards momentum, you see it emotionally. They'll just snowball. And again, enabled, I think, by a CT side. It's less likely to happen if they start on the defense, but this is their bread and butter.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style?
But at least a buy. Keto, caught by that frag, dropped to 80. We've got 2 CTs just on the other side of doors, and right now Big are kind of just floating in a place where GXX could start to find them. Catches Tabson with the first shot, falls into the cover. He's got support on the other end. Next up's Rigon. Crimbo tries to fall away, and lucky to be alive.
Yeah, he had was it a weapon switch? I think he felt like he didn't mean to do that or something, but he got some damage off. Sin finds a kill. Ooh, Juan Flotro compromised spot, single box.
Time to play. Tough first half. Juan Flotro keeps it clean. 2 headshots off the catwalk, but dropped by Searson into the 2v2. We've got 30 seconds to the clock. Rigon wants to come up and deal with Sin, but he gets found out unsuspecting. As he looked to turn his attention back towards site, Synopsy, 1v2 is just going to run right at this. Searson keeps his head tucked, staying down in sight. Now all the opening onto the bomb site, and Synopsy has a smoke grenade. He drops that front sight, he sticks this defuse. Now he has Sin's position confirmed, and this is his. He's gonna jump right on top of that, and Sin can do nothing to stop it. Bad News Eagles tie.
Oh, that's beautiful. Well played and well called out by you. In that position, that smoke down, head down. It's so hard to find your target. It's planted for long plat, but Sin is just searching with bullets, and I'm sure he felt hopeless in that moment as well. Juan Flotro clipping wings on the cross, doing a good job of it. He got his 2. The trade came through, but this 1v2 is beautiful by the way he played off of Searson, right? Pressuring the peak on the box, knowing he could approach at any second, but staying at those weaved baskets and holding for the exact peak that would come his way. I think from the perspective of Searson, the way that he swung on that very last moment really rattled him. Ooh. Ooh,
Down it
Rigon
goes.
finds another. Searson out early, and this could be a lead for BNE.
Despite Searson putting up 22 kills at the moment.
Yeah.
This time he just kind of gets caught between that double peak. Rigon drops the incendiary. Sin looking for his kill towards mid. Easy pickups. He just continues to fight, and now you can see it, that bolstered aggression. The snowball effect, very real. The emotions, the adrenaline.
Yeah, they're not letting this go. That is very impressive.
That
we saw a
bad
big
news Eagle identity.
We saw a big on the other side of this versus Furia on Vertigo a few hours ago. Certainly looks like a two-way street with them. We've seen, again, you know, CT sides be very friendly today. Bad News Eagles taking advantage of being on the defense. Money is abysmal here for Big Clan. They have Searson on 6K. Outside of that, I don't think they could scrape together a buy with 2 players. So we'll see what they want to do. And it looks like it's going to be evening out the money. That'll be priority number 1.
I think having major winners, what brings to the team is just that extra experience that if you manage to reach like this playoffs, semi-final, finals, they will be on point and they will know how to close the game, you know. And instead of like having only younger players that will be experiencing that for the first time.
Now it's Sin's chance. A nade that goes flying over and Synopsy right back to the fight. So now it's Crimbo's turn. He's got bomb and he's got both CTs on this A site.
Yeah, he's trying to get a gun. I mean, he knows that they're here, so I'm sure he's going to go back to the other site.
Armored, utility, he's got it all.
Oh, he's trying to game this and see if the rotation's going to come in. It must look weird, right? From BNE's perspective, or sorry, from Big's perspective, BNE, 2 players dedicated to A still at this point of the round versus what felt like a low buy. Why wouldn't they come over? But, you know, Crimbo's not seeing anybody, so why not make his way over now? There's a chance to plant. They are so far away from this. I mean, they are really giving Crimbo a chance here. I think they have bad info on where the bomb must have been. And now, as they head back, we'll see. Crimbo, this is why he was hired, to win clutch rounds. And he has the space to do it.
Gets up onto the window. I thought that was a sitting duck, but Scenari reacts fast enough, and Crimbo, no chance in that 1v2.
That could have been a game-winning clutch right there. That one kill, and then suddenly the skybox odds, they shift in favor of a Crimbo very heavily, but Scenari very sharp.
If he had that instant reaction to shoot, but I mean, you see Scenari look in the wrong direction, so yeah, line it up. However, the next time Scenari peeks at you, he's staring you in the eyes, down you go, and 2-round lead for Bad News Eagles.
Yeah, but you know, up until that point, it would have been very lucky for Big to pull off anything. We got this, you know, Tech 9 performance from Keto and Sin. Sin even gets another one inside of CT spawn, and that's about as hairy as it gets. That's the closest Big have come to winning a round in the second half.
Insane. Only 3 bomb plants across it. Makes you think back to that Rigon 4K USP play.
Yeah, I mean, if BNE win this round, it is officially their game to lose. Damn. Economy on their side, Big potentially saving it. What a way to start.
Nasty. Shaves off Keto, the man who kick-started that last round in an attempt to get up Catwalk. And shout out Juan Flatro, up to 10-18 now. Huge recovery since that very real struggle in the first 15.
You're watching a 1-0 matchup right now, folks. And it looked like, you know, Big were
Nuke and then just couldn't win 3 rounds on their T side.
Man, then, you know, that's a bit of a backbreaker all in its own. Now, for us, we look again at what is a singular map because we do find ourselves within that part of the format. Where's the crossover, Mahone? You're the big brains here. Tell me what we're going to play.
I kind of feel like it might even be Inferno or Nuke again, but we'll have to see what the veto really ends up being. Ban on Ancient as well as Dust 2 from Imperial. No surprises there, as well as a ban on Vertigo. One of the things I'm kind of interested in seeing, though, is just kind of how 9Z is necessarily going to kind of bounce back into this game. Are they going to play a more elusive style? We'll have to see.
Mirage. Was that 3 times in a row for us?
Yes. Actually, but you know, you could tell Inferno wasn't
Catwalk. They get in, but then they go down yet again. Sin, oh, he's got 2 at least, but so little health. You'd think this is impossible. 14 for Bad News Eagles. A flawless CT side so far.
Yeah, Orgless, by the way. This team looks like they are not close to stopping. And again, they got through that huge buy round. There is a turning point here for Big. I mean, there's a big decision to be made. It's the CTs who can call the tack pause. It is the Big Clan who have enough money. They're teetering. They can buy. And I think that it's going to be so tempting, right? You're not going to have the op on Searson, but with $4,400, you're probably going to make that decision. But there was a huge psychological advantage for BNE now. There is an economic advantage, and there's just a read advantage. If you know that an op can't be bought again, if they've done the math, they'll be able to figure it out that this is very unlikely. So I think they treat this simply like an anti-eco. They play their own op advantage, their double op advantage. They're actually looking at Searson with a scout, and I can understand why. If there's one guy you would want to have that in a round like this where you could afford an AK, it's definitely Searson, but this is a clear advantage to the CT side.
Tabson on the entry. Smoke on the corner gives them that at least, but it is Tabson and Tabson alone. Everybody else back towards middle.
Oh, they win blue with his shoes. It's actually Rox's CT setup, and we can see they don't have good positions right now, and the T's are coming in quickly. They smoke Cat very quickly, but they still don't have a home here. Once this smoke comes up, the ball is still in BNE's court to make a further move.
Oh, what a shot. Just through the side of the smoke one. Flotro
is not going to be mild for this one. So let's get it on.
Big on long, and despite their best effort to fight up Catwalk, now it's this long cross that could compromise everything for BNE. They boost back up, Sin's gonna keep him busy, but they cross with no smokes. Tabson comes through with 2. It's him and Searson versus another 3. Scenario up next, and Regon covers from a distance. A scout is all that's left, and it's 4 map points for Bad News Eagles.
Wow, they're almost doing it right here, and once again, still have not lost a round so far in this second half.
Flawless.
That is insane, man. And that attack right there was the best organization from Big. I mean, they took blue control, they held on to long, and just as Bad News Eagles were between 2 minds about what part of the map they wanted to take, they made the smallest adjustment to peek off the corner of their cat smoke with a flash one. Flotro got his kill. That